Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we're going to take a look at what we'd be looking for in a bourbon city if we were getting ready to move. So, bourbon perspective. What would we want to make sure that all of our bourbon needs are met? My name is Steve Akeley. I'm joined by Jim Fosnot. We're live at the ABV Barrel Shop. I can think you can hear Barley running around, so good stuff. What's going on, buddy?
How we doing, bud?
Good. So, yeah, our topic of the day is going to take us into the things that we would want to make sure that a city has if we're getting ready to move that are bourbon related. So there's other things that play into, when you're going to move. I think a big thing for us would be climate. But we'll look at what needs would have to be met if we're going to move there.
We're not necessarily talking about like moving to Louisville, right? We're just talking about moving somewhere in the country but we're also bourbon fans.
Right, correct. Yeah, Louisville would be a terrible choice to demonstrate because they've got everything.
Right.
They've got distilleries. They've got bars. They got I don't know what kind of things you're leaning towards, but yeah, you want to think outside of that. I'm getting ready to move. I'm not moving to Louisville or to Bardstown. What do I want to make sure that they have because I have this interest in bourbon. So that's what we'll talk about. For right now, I want to talk about living behind our dumpster right now. We have a homeless person. There's a couch, so we back up. We have some trees behind our shop, and then right behind there's a subdivision, and that subdivision uses our dumpster, not like it's ours, but the dumpster for the shopping center as their personal amusement park. So they throw all their stuff in there, lawn cuttings, cleaning out the house. You name it, you can tell it's not business related when you open up that trash can. You can see and we've seen neighbors coming over, dropping stuff, throwing it in there.
And I've thought of stopping them from doing it, but then I think, do I really want to be on the bad side of we're just opening our business here in town? Do we want to get them bad-mouthing us for running them off from a dumpster? And I don't. Right,
because at the end of the day, we don't, I guess we pay for the dumpster, but are we paying extra because people are dumping stuff in there? I don't think so. It's almost like a victimless crime. So.
Yeah, we've never not been able to throw our trash away.
Right, exactly. So yeah, what do we care? And they haven't raised the price on the trash, so yeah, we're just rolling with it. So, but there is one of them. It has to be the house. Threw a couch out there, and it doesn't fit in the dumpster, or no one wanted to lift it up over there, so they put it behind the dumpster. No one's addressed it. It just stays back there. Well, now someone's using it as their house.
Yeah. This just happened a day or so ago. I was in my truck and looking at some things, and I see first thought it was a homeless man, and it being a homeless lady, and I see her coming out from behind the dumpster, and with all her bags and whatever. And Steve, I eat at a diner down the street here on a lot of Saturdays, and we see some of that crowd in there playing the video poker after a rough Friday night or whatever. So, she wasn't doing anything wrong, but just interesting. And then this morning I was out walking my dog, and once again she's back there. And I'm pretty sure she's back there because it's like a faux leather couch, so it doesn't hold water.
Right.
And so I think it's a comfortable place for her to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Beats the alternative being on the ground, I guess. So
if you look behind the dumpster now, it's kind of set up like a little apartment. I see she's got like purses back there and stuff like that. It's a whole thing going on.
Yeah, Barney and I walked back there to check out after I knew she wasn't there. So I took my guard dog with me just in case there's issues. Yeah, there's a purse there. a couple of things laying around. So I'm sure that's what's happening.
So we're going to be talking about where we would go to live. If we were homeless, where would you live, Jim? What are you thinking homeless wise is a good choice?
Nowhere where it gets cold in the winter. So
I know.
I'd be working my way south.
Yes,
that's for sure.
Yeah,
not that the heat's a whole lot better. I don't want to be at 110 degrees, but I'd probably be a migratory homeless person. I would move between a couple of states over the course of a few months.
Yeah, I feel like for me it's down to 3 cities if I'm homeless. It's going to be Las Vegas, it's going to be Phoenix, or it's going to be Key West. So those are the 3, and I would probably go Key West, I would think.
Yeah, there's some other Florida cities that might be a little easier than Key West to be in, but I get what you're saying.
What you're looking for is tourists that are generous. So if you're like, well, I'll go to Orlando, there's a lot of tourists. Well, where do you have interaction with? In Key West, you're going to be mixed. Yeah, you can't. It's too small. You're going to be there. So I think that's a good thing because you need to make money, Jim. So you got to have proximity.
There's a lot of nicer beaches up further where you can sleep underneath the pier. You can make a nice sand bed underneath there.
Okay.
People catching the fish, they don't want it. You take their fish and you cook it. I don't know. I hope to never be in that situation, but if I was, I think that might be a little better spot to be. If I want to bathe in the ocean and there's all the showers on the beach. It doesn't really exist too much in Key West, so I could take that outdoor shower.
I guess I don't know. I feel like it's the place to go though. I feel like people, because it's kind of a drinking destination. People are generous with their money, and I know I turn into Rockefeller when I've got when I've been drinking. So I think everybody does that. So they're more likely to give you money down there easily.
Not that there's anything funny about being homeless. I'm not trying to joke about it, but I've been going to Key West for years, and there used to be a homeless guy down there who would sit on one side of the street, and he had his dog dressed as basically a hobo on the other side of the street that would beg for money from people in his hat, and then when people collect money, and the one guy would come across and get it, whatever else. So it was always, I'm sure that guy did pretty well for being homeless.
Yeah,
because it's such a kind of a novel thing. You see a lot of kind of
because there's effort there.
Right,
there's effort there, Jim.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you wonder, if you put that effort into something else, maybe
right. But there's effort there, and you're not trying to fool anybody. I know. This next door app or whatever it is. If you live in an area where you see any homeless people, for some reason, people profile all the homeless people on there now, and they're like they live here. They wear a costume. This one lady where she has a kid with her a lot of times, but then she's also pregnant, and they're like, she's not really pregnant. That's a costume. I mean, who gets into this stuff and then puts it out online? I don't understand.
In general, their lives are worse than ours, and let's help them out. I'm not, I don't necessarily want to. You got some issues in some of these big cities with these giant tent cities and drug use and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking people that are down on their luck, trying to make it. I have no problem. Let's help them out as long as it's safe. I don't the ones that get really aggressive, and you've been downtown St. Louis, the aggressive ones. Okay, at that point I have an issue. But if you're just trying to make it, okay, I feel bad.
You ever been to New Orleans and it's a hustle down there? They want to grab you and put something on your shoe and be like, oh, okay, I'll clean that for you.
Miami, they jump on your car. I'm washing your window. You owe me $5.
Right.
If you don't pay, then you're going to get in a dent in the side of your damn car as you drive away. It's the aggressive stuff.
You don't like that.
I'm out. But if they're just, I don't know. I just feel over the years you can kind of tell who's. I always look at what are the shoes they have on, whatever. You get people brand new Nikes on and they're dressed up because there's definitely scammers out there.
Oh, there's scammers.
So you can kind of learn, I think, especially in your area, who that is. You hear over time, but in general, man, I help out those in need, and I have no issue with that as long as they're not aggressive and But we've been scared in our dumpsters by squirrels and stuff, so I had to give Steve the warning to make sure he didn't go out, throw trash away, and get scared by throw something there in a lady
someone screams or talks or
so just giving him a heads up. That's all it was. It wasn't we're not calling authorities or anything like that. There's no problems.
She's fine.
No one's vandalized anything. No theft around here.
That couch is going to be there one way or another. If she wants to sleep on it, let her sleep on it.
Might as well get some use out of it for a while until someone finally takes it away.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, what do you got there to drink? I've got Planters here. Is that what you got too?
No. I went to 10th Mountain.
10th Mountain. Nice.
Out of Vail, Colorado. So doing some fantastic stuff.
All right. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about this concept of what are we looking for in a bourbon city. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We'll also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
All right, I'm Neil.
And I'm Melanie.
Together we're the Robinsons, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
All right, everybody, welcome back. My name is Steve Akeley, joined by Jim Fosnot here live from the ABV Barrel Shop, and we're talking about what sort of things that we want to, make sure that are in the city that we're going to if we're going to be moving. And you and I have both talked about moving to Florida, and that's a tough place to move because it's not really bourbon-centric. It's more rum drinks and,
Right.
Those type of things. So is there things that you must have, or are you just like, nah, anything I want, I can either get online or I'll travel still, or those type of things?
I don't want to be in a control state.
Okay.
That seems problematic
Yeah.
at times, so that kind of be there. I would like to have a good bourbon group around. Like, we've been lucky enough, like, either with the ABV Crew Club and
Right.
doing stuff, in the area here, or some of our distilleries.
That's fun, yeah.
Distilleries that have special events that we kind of get to see the same core people and you become friends with that. To kind of have some way to have bourbon friends within that community. So whether it's a club, a distillery that hosts things, some version of that where you get together with like-minded people.
Yeah. Another thing I'd like to look for is a local distillery, because it's fun to have a local distillery and watch their growth, especially if they're doing things right. Sometimes if you get in early enough, you can tell that they're doing things good. Like, first time I ever went into Stump's place, I knew that was going to be a good distillery. And I had no idea how it got to where it's at today. I didn't envision it's going to be that great of a place, but I knew that they were doing things right, and sure enough, they are. And it'd be fun to make sure that you have a distillery that's near.
Yeah, and there's a difference between young whiskey and bad whiskey. Those
Right.
are two different things.
Right.
And so, I think we've been in this long enough that we can kind of tell those two. So for me, it's a distillery, but it has to be a distillery with potential. It doesn't have to be there yet, but I don't want to be next door to a crappy distillery and have to
Right.
hang my hat on that. Like,
No. No, and there's, like we said, the odds are against you because there's more bad ones than good ones and any
sure.
other stuff. So
yeah, while we like to sing the praises of craft distilleries, I understand why people are have reservations about it, because there's a lot of them out there that aren't good, but we've got lucky enough, probably not lucky enough, we worked hard enough to find really good ones. We got
Right.
really good friends that are good ones, but also find great ones across the country. And I'm sure we could do a little research and we could find out where some good
Okay.
ones are.
Okay. Does a bourbon bar play into it for you at all?
It doesn't necessarily have to be a bourbon bar, but it has to have a decent selection of bourbon.
Yeah.
I get it. Like if we're going to Florida, there's not a ton of bourbon bars. I know this to be true because I'm doing research right now for something else that we're doing and trying to find the different bourbon bars and stuff. And there's some down there, but it's not nearly as common as you get up into, like Chicago has a ton of great bourbon bars, or New York, or those kind of cities there.
I feel like it's more of a thing of entertaining than anything else, because I'm not the type to go out to a bar these days. I've got a full bar at the house, so yeah. But when you got friends in, it's nice to be able to have a place where you can go that has some good offerings. So
I also think that leads to kind of what I was talking about before, is having a bourbon group. Like you have to have those things around to kind of build that camaraderie. That group has to have a home, whether it's a bar, a distillery, a restaurant, whatever. They're always going to have some type of home typically for those things.
yeah. Does the liquor store play into it at all? And what are you looking for if you're looking for a liquor store?
Again, in general, I don't care about that. I just don't want a control state.
Okay.
I want more access to things. I just want variety. I don't want to have the same national brands in there all the time. I want some single barrel picks, some craft stuff from across the country, some different variants of things. I'm not chasing unicorns. They don't have to have I don't need the B-Tech collection there waiting for me. It'd be great. That's not going to happen. So I'm not chasing that. I just and preferably to have knowledgeable people in there that can kind of talk to me about what I want to.
Just want to talk whiskey.
Yes.
Like we do here
Exactly.
at the ABV Barrel Shop.
And people love it. People love to come in and just sit down and bullshit about whiskey for 15, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever.
Right.
I want to be able to do the same thing. I want to walk in, they be able to tell me what's new, why they like it, why they don't like it, where I should
Yeah,
go
come
visit.
in and definitely talk to us. So that's a good thing for sure. Anything else you can think of that would be things that you need to look for if you're a bourbon fan and you're getting ready to move in the city you're getting ready to move to?
I do think food matters.
Food matters,
I think
okay.
You have to have some, I'm not talking about high-end restaurants, but some, like, especially if you get something that is bourbon-centric, not, everything bourbon, but, like Bourbon's Bistro, obviously, good friends of ours, like, it doesn't, those are hard to find, but we've had some here in St. Louis over the years that have, kind of themed around that, so, but yeah, to have a great food, again, you get friends coming in from out of town, you want to take them somewhere, take them out to a bar, take them out to a nice place to eat. Much as I love to cook, there's still something great about sitting down for a nice meal with friends.
Right, yeah. And the last thing you want to look for, make sure the city that you're moving to has an ABV Barrel Shop. I think that's key.
Yeah, well, that is key. So that means we're going to have to franchise across the country so people will be free to move to wherever they want.
Yes, that's true. It's true. We are, as the parent of the franchises, though, we got to make sure it's cool places we want to go.
That's true.
Yeah. We don't want to, as much as we like Becca in Minot, North Dakota, her hometown, I don't think we want to put one up there.
No, I don't think so. I think we want to encourage people from Minot, North Dakota to come see us.
Exactly.
And, we will we'll sing the praises of the people, but maybe not about the weather.
There you go. Well, that wraps this one up. Just a little bit of insight on what we'd be looking for if we have to move. I think at some point we'd both like to move, so this is stuff we need to think about down the road.
That is true.
There you go. All right, where can people find you, Jim?
You can find me on Facebook at Jim Fosnut, on Instagram at FosJim, or most days hanging out here at the ABV Barrel Shop with you, Steve, in Arnold, Missouri.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website, though, it's abvnetwork.com. Check that one out, because everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Please give us a 5-star review. It helps new people find the show, especially if you put comments on there. That's a big deal. We'd appreciate that. And finally, get involved. Head over to patreon.com/theabvnetwork. Well, that's it for today. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Cheers.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours, is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the Hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.